Okay, well, we are ready to go. If you noticed, my wife is not with me today because she's got some other things that are going on before we head out to Anaheim. And actually, I've got a amazing treat for all of us here today. Those of you that know, our team in South Africa is booming; it's growing like crazy, and we have a tremendous leader that is going to be joining us today to talk about this amazing technology. So once again, I'm Greg Warmbier. I'm actually live here out of Sarasota, Florida, and today I'm going to be kind of partnering back and forth with Brendan Duplessis. He's a tremendous leader out there, breaking all kinds of records, doing all kinds of amazing things. He's helping a lot of people in that area, and he knows this product very well. He's been using the product for almost 2 years now, because I met him actually in South Africa back on January of 2024, right after I fired my job after replacing my income from this business. And we're going to be talking about this business. So today we're going to be kicking this off, kind of talking more about this. I'm going to kick off a video first. I can talk a little bit more about the business, more about the opportunity here, but even more about the team that we have, because I want you to understand what we have a hold of here today. If you don't see your guest on here, make sure you text people, let them know we're getting started, make sure they got the right link, because I know we've changed some different things. We'll make sure that everybody has the right links for this. But again, I'm going to kick this video off, and then I'm going to introduce Brendan, and we'll get started. So here is a little bit more about us, the company, the patent, and this amazing product. Here we go. And of course it's not there. Give me a second. I've been switching between 3 different PowerPoints this morning. Give me a second. I think I undid it. There we go. Let me unhide it. That would be nice. There we go. Here we go.
In a world searching for answers, one discovery is changing everything. A patch, no bigger than a quarter, built not to treat symptoms, but to wake up the healer inside you. This is X39, a wearable, light-activated patch.
I'm sorry, I just realized that the sound was not on. This is amazing. I can know what's going on with my thing here. I'm not recording. There we go. Now I need to share it. Sorry about this. Give me 1 second. It's amazing how this happens. Now I got to share it. Normally my wife helps me with a lot of these things ahead of time. As you can see what happens when my wife's not around. Now, let's share this. Now that I've got this, now I can actually update this. Here we go. Computer sound. It was not working. There we go. Now we're ready. Okay, you guys ready? I'm ready. Let's go. On y va, c'est in France.
In a world searching for answers, one discovery is changing everything. A patch, no bigger than a quarter, built not to treat symptoms, but to wake up the healer inside you. This is X39, a wearable, light-activated patch. Designed by David Schmidt, an inventor with over 200 patents. His mission? To reverse aging naturally. This isn't science fiction. It's stem cell activation without injections, without pills. Your body repairing itself. The results? Life-changing energy, recovery, sleep, relief. And the medical world? It's taking notice. Still skeptical? Visit thisisitinfo.com. You'll find the studies, the patents, the proof. It's all there. But there's more. This tiny patch isn't just transforming lives, it's creating freedom. Because behind it is a business model built for the bold. Real people, real results. Income that scales with impact. And here's why. Because this breakthrough technology is patented and exclusive, it offers a lucrative business plan that allows you to compound your efforts. More people than ever are struggling in today's economy. You can no longer rely on your own sweat equity alone to make a living. This business model allows you to duplicate yourself, and even better, to benefit from other people's efforts. So your income no longer depends solely on you. By duplicating yourself over and over, The income potential is far greater than a conventional job, career, or profession. And you're never alone. The This Is It system gives you the tools, the path, the team. All you have to do is start. The question is no longer if it works, it's whether you'll act or let this moment pass. Will you keep waiting or finally feel your body come alive again? Will you stay financially stuck or build something that lasts? Isn't it time to start living life on your own terms? The This Is It action plan will set you on a path to live out the dreams you have for your family. Get back with the person who shared this video so you can experience the age-reversing health and the exciting lifestyle that thousands are already enjoying. This is the technology, this is the team, and this is your moment. This is it.
Awesome. So again, that gives you a little bit of background. And now actually I'm going to introduce one of the greatest brand partners we have on our team, absolutely phenomenal leader, building this business, helping the team out tremendously. So I'm going to introduce you to all the way from Johannesburg, South Africa, Mr. Brendan Duplessis. He's going to be talking about the product, and then I'll come back and talk more about the business. So Brendan, the floor is yours.
Alrighty. Well, can you hear me okay, Greg?
Yes, you're perfect. Absolutely. Thank you for helping me out today. I appreciate it.
Alright. No worries. Well, I actually just want to say thank you, Greg, and thank you everyone for taking the time out of your busy Monday, obviously, to attend this meeting. And I'm so glad that we have made it the priority to actually show up tonight, because what we would love to share with you is truly one of the most amazing things I think anyone can actually come across in their life. And I wouldn't take the time out of my busy Monday to actually want to share that message if it wasn't true either. So I just want to say thank you. And thank you also, Greg. As you said, it's going on almost 2 years that we've actually known each other. And it's been one of the most exciting journeys that I think I've ever had the privilege of discovering in my life. And I think one of the best things that I can actually share with everyone is that this message that you're going to hear tonight never comes at a time that you expect. And it's never known exactly what's going to play out whenever you share this message with someone else. But what I can share with you is that when you share something from your heart, the impact of that is so great. And that's what I know Greg did about 2 years ago, where I met him at a breakfast meeting and he shared from his heart what the patch had done to him in helping him recover after injury and reduce his pain. And it made such a big impact on his life that he was out there trying to find people that needed help just like that. And Greg's story really resonates with me because I knew people in my life that were struggling with pain, that weren't recovering as fast as they needed to. And I asked Greg, what can this do for the people that I care about? What can it do for my mom? How can it help me? I'm healthy. How can it help me? What's it going to do for me? And, the journey that's, Greg described, really makes you wonder. But the biggest thing is that you have to just give it a go, right? At least 90 days is what Greg said to me. Give it at least 90 days. But 1 month for every decade you've been alive, which meant my mom had to be on it for 6 months. So obviously, given that enough thoughts and time, I thought, you know what, Greg, you say this is going to help. This is going to help my mom, and there's an opportunity for me to help others. Sign me up. And I actually took a loan out of the bank in order to sign up with Greg because I knew that I had a mission that needed to get out there. And long and short of it is, my mom started the patches. After a few months, she had tremendous results. She stopped napping. She was so sick after COVID that she would literally go to work and come home and sleep the whole day. And when you see the person you love go through that month after month after month, it truly is traumatic, I think is the word. It's traumatic. And you'll look for a solution because you care about someone. How can you not try to find a solution? And my mom stopped sleeping. She started going out more. She started going, seeing her friends. She started really enjoying her life. She started having her independence back. And after just seeing that whole what happened to my mom, how many other people are struggling and suffering that need to obviously hear about this? So that's exactly why I'm here today, because I've seen the impact that it's had for my mom. And I mean, for myself, I stopped having migraines. I stopped having energy crashes. I mean, feels like some days I'm working 3 shifts. And because of X39, I'm managing. And it's amazing. I get to wake up with energy. And I can't imagine a life without X39. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a few minutes and I'm going to share some information with you. I'm going to share my screen. And we're going to just walk you through exactly how it is that the X39 works, how it's actually had an impact on other people. And Greg will take it from there to explain exactly about the company behind it and the partnership opportunity that we actually have for people that are ready to increase their impact in the world. So let's get started, everyone. And thank you for your patience. All right, let's make it happen. So welcome. Right, hopefully we have a few new people on. I see a few guests on here. Obviously, thank you also, Ted, for hopping on. It's very awesome to see you, my friend. And we just want to ask you, as a new person, have you been patched yet? Have you had one of the most magical experiences of your life yet? Have you been patched? Experiencing stem cell activation technology in a patch. Let's get into it. So why does the X39 stem cell activation patch even matter? Well, it's very simple. As you get older, we all know that your body's ability to keep your stem cells active dramatically decreases. At about 30, half your stem cells are active. And, at about 60, you lose almost all of your stem cell activity. So this means that the fewer active stem cells you have, the faster you age and the slower you heal. If you have the same energy and vitality and recovery as what you did when you were 20, as a 60, 70, 80-year-old, that would be miraculous, right? Most people don't. And it's because your stem cells are actually starting to go to sleep, unfortunately. And everyone is experiencing the symptoms of aging. Every day we're getting older. Every day that we get older is another day our body is deteriorating. And that's what the journey of life is. After 30, your body just starts going into deterioration mode. And it's all about what can we do to slow that process. So let's break it down about the gentleman behind this X39. His name is David Schmidt. He's the CEO and inventor of X39. Currently has over 200 patents. Right, this is so amazing. He is a scientist and inventor, and what he specializes is in age reversing. So in 2008, he focused his attention on stem cell research, and the patent for X39 took over 10 years and $4.5 million to bring to markets. Right? 10 years. I always say, like, when last did you dedicate yourself to do something for more than 2 weeks? Right? Like, this gentleman dedicated 10 years of his life to bring the X39 to markets. And this is why we're here tonight to share with you, because 10 years and $4.5 million, and this is a scientist and inventor. This isn't some shoe brand releasing a new shoe. This is literally a scientist and inventor who developed a technology that is helping people. So the patent that we actually got approved, that took 10 years to get approved, actually shows us and has been proven to do things in the body. This is a legal binding document, the patent. You can't actually put anything in here that hasn't been proven. And that's what makes this so good. You hear about lots of things that are patent pending, patent pending. We got our patents. And it's an amazing thing that we have, because it actually just shows the results of what the X39 can do for people. So just a little excerpt we have out of the patent mentions that as a result of elevating copper peptide, which is what the patch is designed to do, this includes the activation of stem cells, improvements in energy, and elevation of antioxidants, and many more benefits. And that's all just by wearing the X39 patch, right? That's what the amazing thing is. It activates your stem cells, but that comes with so many other benefits. Just activating your stem cells is one of the biggest. So how does it work? Well, it's very simple. And if you don't actually understand it right now, as you saw in the video Greg just played, we have a beautiful website that breaks down every single question you could possibly have the answer is going to be on thisatinfo.com. So this is just to give you a high level overview so you can at least see what it is we're talking about. And then, should you wish to still get more information, let me read the patent, let me see more case studies. Amazing. Go to thisatinfo.com and then get back with the person that signed you up so that they can get you started. So it's a proprietary form of phototherapy, right? It's a studied mechanism in which we can deliver a beautiful, natural way of therapy to the body. And inside the X39 patch is a patented nanocrystal technology. All it's doing is it's using your body's infrared light, your infrared heat to activate. I don't actually still understand it. What I'll say is that all I know is that it's non-transdermal. So there's no drugs, there's no chemicals going into me, and it's completely non-invasive. So meaning that I can be on any medication right now. I could be in any situation, right? Even on, I could be a vegan. We are friendly to that as well. Any person, come as you are, green, purple, or blue, or whatever color you want to be, you can wear the patch. It's going to help you too. So, what are the benefits you can start experiencing after staying on the X39 for over 3 to 6 months? Well, you can see here, you got about increased strength, mental clarity, reduced inflammation, increased stamina, improvements of sleep. I mean, we've all actually heard these benefits before. I'm sure many of the supplement companies you've come across have said the same things here. The difference is that we are helping your body do these things better. We're not putting a supplement so that your body can try and have mental clarity. We're giving your body the fuel, the resource that it needs in order to have these benefits. There's actually a major difference there. Would you like to take a supplement that causes a result? It's almost like a symptom. You take a supplement and you get a symptom of mental clarity, or do you want the results of mental clarity by using your own body to provide that? So that's what we're actually talking about today. So you can help achieve optimal health, being in a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. This is so awesome. All in a little patch that I don't have to drink and that's not invasive. It's really awesome. I swear, if I ever forget to put my patch on, within 2 hours, I can actually feel the difference. And it's like, and it can put you out of your routine. You know, you have to put your patch on in the morning at the same time, right? How do you wear it? You have to wear it the same time every day. I wear it from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. That's my time that I put it on. And you just got to be consistent with that. You wear it for 12 hours. At the end of the day, you take it off, you throw it away. And in the morning, so you wait 12 hours in the morning, you put a new patch on. And you must just remember to drink plenty of water. All the time, you must have water. I think most people, just without talking about the patches, most people in general are more sick because they just have all these toxins in their body because they don't drink water. So just drinking more water alone, if there's anything, even regardless of what you hear about the patches, the one message tonight, drink more water, because when you get on the patches, at least you got a good habits already installed. All right. What I want to also show you now is the results, right? The actual results that we had from the studies we did to get our patents approved. So here you can see is of a 77-year-old woman who used the X39 at the back of the neck. You can see at session 1, she didn't put X39 on yet. A lot of inflammation in the brain and a lack of brain coherence. 3 weeks on X39, no more inflammation, improved brain coherence. But the most impressive thing is in 6 weeks, in only 6 weeks, complete turnaround and better brain coherence. So it can be noted when she came in, her brain was hyperactive. But here you can see her brain remained calm after wearing the patch for just 6 weeks. So from hyperactive, this is inflammation. If you feel that you can't focus, if you feel you can't focus and that you're so busy, or if you know people that are so busy and you know they can't focus, let's get them on the patches. So again, just breaking down what it looks like longer term on the patches, like we say, within 3 to 6 months, you need to really commit to trying the X39 out. And this is the reason, because only in a few days, we're helping you reset about 4,000 genes in your body. But within 6 weeks, your brain becomes balanced, as you just saw in the study. 3 months, your collagen is increased. But the best one is that within 6 months, your heart starts reversing in biological age. Okay. So this is something that has been studied, right? We've all heard about how old you feel compared to how old you actually are. This is the same type of thing. And as David Schmidt says, it's not anti-aging, this is age reversing. So what I'm going to quickly go through now before I hand it over to Greg is just some of the testimonials that have been sent through to us from some of the people that we had on the patches. Because again, there's nothing like showing the true result. Like we can show you all the information, but there's nothing like showing you what is actually done. What is the outside result people have had by using this amazing technology? So let's get into it. So this you can see is a live blood analysis of a 65-year-old male. Here you can see this was before putting on the X39. This is signs of clotting, heart attack, stroke, very unhealthy blood. And this is the picture after wearing the X39 for only 12 hours. This is signs of oxygenated, free-flowing, healthy blood. I had the privilege over the weekend to actually speak to two medical doctors, MDs, that have their own practice, that they do live blood analysis. And actually showed this picture to them. And they were so blown away that they would like to get started now in this week. They're just traveling back home. So imagine how amazing that is that people that are in the medical field can even see this. Like this is literally the proof in the blood that it's taking place. I mean, if there's anything when you come to us, there's more than enough proof. So whenever anyone asks, what I wonder about this and something about the patch, that's not the question we actually going to actually help you with. The question we're going to help you with is, who do you know that is struggling that we can help? Because there's no other thing we should actually be talking about. If you're trying to ask about how does it work and is how effective and all of these things, we have all of those answers for you. The thing that we want to actually help you with is how many people can we get this on, because that is the true result we're looking for. What is the result of telling other people? Not, is it going to work for me? Okay, so anyway, let's continue. Here you can see day one. This is without the X39. This gentleman had a lack of blood flow to his feet, actually a potential for amputation. And within 5 days on X39, a complete turnaround. I mean, we always say, what is the cost of wearing the patches? Some people say it's a bit expensive, but to most it's affordable. But what is the cost to amputating your leg and not having a leg compared to wearing the patch and having that problem not actually arise because of look at what it's done for this gentleman. Right, that's not a claim. However, it's a result for this gentleman. His leg is now not in that position. All right, so let's continue here. You can see after accidents, right, it helps people with recovery dramatically. Here, 22 days with inflammation, mobility improvements. I mean, if you know anyone above 60, remember at 60, you have close to zero. You have between 0 and 10% of your stem cells still trying to work. And probably most of that is just trying to keep your heart beating, right? So the rest of your body is not being attended to. So if you know anyone above 60, please invite them to something like this so we can help them. Within 1 to 3 months, oh my word, do you know how amazing this can work on kids that have issues, ADHD, any issue that kids with, especially health conditions? Don't let them go the big pharma way. Right? So please don't do that. At least try a natural solution first. Let's at least put it that way. 45 days. Hair growth. Right? So I always say good referral. If you ever come across anyone that has gray hair or wrinkles, please refer them to us because we can assist them. I mean, that's the easiest way to find someone who needs us. So here you can see 2 months on X39. Here you can also see the hair growth. I mean, you can even screenshot this and send this to a friend. That's what we're doing this for. How easy can it be to share with someone you care about? Hey, I saw this. I really think it can help you. Okay, so within 3 to 6 months, here we can see also the balding improvements, collagen increase. 3 months, this is actually Mena's friend. She had a condition called alopecia, where her hair was actually falling out. She's wearing wigs, big hats, and she actually didn't have a social life. And after wearing X39 for 3 months, it started her hair growth as if she didn't even have the condition. Imagine the confidence, the things that allows her to do, the independence she now has again. She is going out there now living her life again. We take it for granted when we just go out and about and do our thing. We never take a moment to think about how are other people doing? How is, your friend you haven't spoken to in a while? We just think that, oh, we just think they're okay. Until you hear that call one day that's actually Johnny is not okay anymore. Be there for Johnny before something goes bad. Be part of the solution before the problem, arises. This is the best insurance you can take out on your health. Prevent the issue before it arises. Don't try to solve it when it's at its peak. Okay, vertigo. Okay, this also is helping people with that. Bell's palsy. Right, this is actually one of my very, very best friends, Yolandi. She had a very rough time where she actually had cancer and she had to go through a whole situation. Terrible, in pain, throwing up. And then she luckily got through it. And still to this day, she actually went for recent scans and she's doing awesome. Everything is good. Everything's in the normal ranges. There's no abnormalities. And she's been on the X39 now, also going on almost 2 years now. This is an old photo. But her hair has come back, her energy. She used to be on morphine. She used to be on morphine every day to just live. You imagine being in so much pain that you just have to take medication just so that you don't feel that pain. She literally said she just wishes that it would have taken her, because when you're living in pain, and how sad is that? And now she has her life back. She's living her life with her family. She's traveling. She's an audiologist by trade, and she's opened up another practice. Her life is so different. I think I personally know a few people that would actually be a bit they would be in some other place right now if it wasn't for the patch. Okay, before I go on and on, here's also some more results. Okay, we have doctors on X39. Anything you want, we got it here for you. Dr. Tony, Dr. Adam, you can go on YouTube and you search any of these names, you'll find information on X39. Athletes on patches, right? Because it's natural, drug-free. Even animals. So again, the X39 is so sophisticated, it's so simple to explain. And the testimonies of X39 are truly life-changing and emotional. And the best thing about it is that it absolutely works. So that's not a question anymore about, does it work or how effective can it be, and this question and that thing. What we just showed you was to just help you at least understand that that's not a question we need to worry about anymore. Now, the last thing is that if you have any questions, right, that's not for us right now. You must please go to this info, because that's going to answer your question much better than anyone could if you had to phone them. So if you have a question, you must go here first. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand it over to Greg, because what I'd like to say now is that Greg has been one of the best business partnerships that I've had the privilege of being a part of. He's a very distinguished business gentleman. I mean, he was actually growing companies through marketing systems before he even joined LifeWave. And he did business consulting, helping businesses scale. And he saw the opportunity that LifeWave had in order to have an impact, because we can all work for money. That's not a problem. We can all work for money, but what are you doing that is having an impact? Because do you want to just be known that you work for money? Or do you want to be known that you were here to help people make an impact? And that's what Greg saw. And that's why he shared his message. And he truly has a very impactful message that would like to share. And like I said, the result that we want to look for is the result of what it looks like when you put this patch on other people. Not on what it looks like on you, but what does it look like on other people? So Greg, please do share what that looks like for everyone. Thank you so much for your time.
Awesome. Thank you, Brendan. Yes, I said I found someone who's as passionate as I am, and I actually am trying to talk slow because I get so excited about this opportunity, because we're changing lives around the world. I was just talking to an attorney this morning. He actually just started patching last Wednesday, and he goes, within a day. He goes, my leg pain was gone. He goes, is that just my brain? I said, no, you're an attorney. It's actually helping you. So I was joking around them. So it's like, one of the things you take a look at is that from a business standpoint, I've worked with business owners for over 30 years, helping them to save money on their operating expenses and taking back money and putting it into creative marketing to help them scale and grow their business. Well, I saw all the headaches from traditional business. I saw all the employees, the insurances, the overhead, the cost, the all the different time, the all the different things, the sacrifice you have to make with traditional business. And the one thing that I was looking for specifically for myself wasn't a traditional business. I was looking for something that could actually create the same kind of results from a massive traditional business, but without taking the time, the energy, and everything else. So we've tried a lot of different things, and we've been part of different businesses and things like that. But literally with me, I had a car accident back in 2016 where someone plowed in the back of my car going about 100 kilometers an hour. In the United States, that's 60 miles an hour, in case you know. Totaled my car, literally damaged my neck, my shoulder, my back, and then a couple years later developed a knee injury that affected my right hip. So I had 5 areas of issues, and I call them just pain, period. And my friend told me about this patch. He said, you got to try this patch. I'm like, okay, well, let's see if this thing works. That's kind of I'm going, I don't think this is going to work, but I'll try anything. Because I was trying everything, spending $400 or $500, sometimes $600 a month, and all kinds of treatments, chiropractic, acupuncture, acupressure, stem technology, all kinds of different stuff, CBD, essential oils, everything. It all helped a little bit, but nothing took care of the problem. For me, 3 days later, wearing this patch every day for 12 hours a day, no knee pain, no hip pain, no shoulder pain, no neck pain, no back pain. I could lift my arm up this high and it was painful. Now I can lift it straight up. I can do this. I couldn't do this. I don't know if you can do that or not, but a lot of people can't do that. I can do both my arms. I couldn't do that with my left arm. I just couldn't do it. All of a sudden, my whole life changed. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I went to my chiropractor because my wife said, go get checked out by your doctor. Because she's thinking, oh, this is in your head. I'm like, no, look, I can. And she goes, okay, go get checked out by your doctor. So I went to the chiropractor. He couldn't even adjust me. He basically said, Greg, you're in perfect homeostasis. He goes, are you cheating on me? I said, no, I'm not cheating on you. He goes, well, what you doing? I said, I'm just drinking good water like they recommended, mineralized water, not the just purified water without minerals. And he said, no, that's a great thing. He said, give me information on this. I walked out there and go, oh my gosh, we're going to change the world. And as of today, we got business in 41 countries around the world. And probably by later on today, the next day, we'll be in 43 countries. So the thing that I want to let you know is this business is phenomenal if you like caring about people. So I wrote that down, impact of helping people become healthy again and healing people like they've never been healed before. Imagine if you're 8 years old, right? And if falling off your bicycle, what do? You get back up, you dust yourself off, and you keep on riding your bike. At 55, you ride your bicycle, you fall off your bicycle, what do? You call your wife and say, hey, come pick me up. I just fell off my bike, right? So it's the same thing. If you break your arm, if you break your arm at 8 years old, what happens? All the stem cells say, let's go. And they basically become the bone, the marrow, the tissue, the nerve endings, everything you need to repair that arm. When you're 55, they go, you go. No, you go. I don't want to go. And that's kind of what happens. And we all experience that aging. So that's what Brendan explained to you. I've experienced for 3 years now. I'm 55 and I feel like in my 30s going into my 20s. And like I said, I'm trying to talk slow, sorry. So let me slow down and explain a little bit more about how you can share those and get this product for free. Like Brendan mentioned, go to thisisitinfo.com. When you start checking out the site and checking out the information, I always recommend going to the testimonials thing at the top, and you'll see all these different testimonials that are in there as well. But the company itself is not on trial. The product's not on trial. The company's grown from 20 million to 600 million in the past 4 years. This year, they're projected to be closer to $1 billion and probably $1 billion company this year or next year. So think about that. Imagine a $20 million company become $1 billion company in 5 years. That's where we're heading. So if you understand, this is also not a Me Too product, and that's what I was looking at. My wife and I targeted, we talked to people, helped them out with supplements, we helped them out with skincare, helped them out with other stuff. And every time we talk to people about that, like, well, I use this, I use that, and it's like me too, right? With this, when I talk about a stem cell activation patch, people lean forward and go, what is it and how do I get it? Every day I talk to people about this, and people do that every single day. Then it's up to them to check it out and see if they want to benefit from it. So the one thing that this is a 20-year-old company, it's actually 21 years that they've been in business now, and it's growing exponentially. It's the fastest growing network in the entire world. So we've got all these different things, basically a site called, businessforhome.org is one that rates all these companies. This is an old graph here, but once again, number one momentum rank, been number one momentum for the past 2 years. We've been rated actually as the number one growth company by the Direct Sales News 2024 Global Bravo Awards. And then guess what happened? We won 25 again, right? So we're winning it every single year. So the thing I want you to understand is this couple here, Steve and Gina Merritt, they have been building a team called This Is It Team. Now, why people say, how'd that name come about? Well, Steve was a professional water skier, and Lily had pretty much broken every kind of record, was world champion, had all kinds of tricks that he did that no one else did, and now people are emulating and doing the tricks that he did. Well, his body took the brunt of that. When you're going 50 miles an hour on the water to get barefoot water skiing going, when you wipe out, it's like wiping out on concrete. He had 13 surgeries, broken all kinds of bones in his body, was taking handfuls of Excedrin. So think about pain pills, Advil, Motrin, we're gonna call it, basically every day. And his wife's like, this is not good. This is gonna kill you. And he said, I gotta keep moving forward. Guess what? They heard about the patch. He tried the patch. Within a week, his pain's gone. And his wife's like, this is it. This is what we've been praying for. So for a year, they've been praying for the right company with the right product, with the right leadership, like David Schmidt and Meredith Burkage, the right leadership, right? The right compensation plan in God's favor. And so when they decided to do this, now we have a team that's growing to almost 700,000 people around the world in 80 countries around the world, and we're growing by leaps and bounds. So if you like to be part of something big, this is huge. And it's bigger than big. I don't know how to explain it. The company itself is growing astronomically because of a product that works. And they're even creating even more and more products that work in conjunction with this stem cell activation patch. So if you like the idea of being healthy, if you like the idea of actually helping people, well, I'm going to teach you how to become wealthy, because that's what we're doing, and we're going to be helping other people do the same thing. So from a company standpoint, we have different trainings, things that we do. And I always love showing this picture because we were sitting right over here back in August of 2023, literally 2 years ago, and we're sitting there trying to figure out how I could get out of my job. And by what I learned from this team, and learning from everything else, within 3 months, I was able to replace my income. Now, we've been already involved for about a year, but within a total of 14 months, I replaced my 6-figure income, and we've quadrupled, or about to quintuple the income since then. So if you like the idea of quadrupling your income, you pick the number you want. You pick whatever. If you won the lottery, how much would you like to win, right? But you pick the number you want, and we're just getting started. So that's what's exciting. So the biggest part to this is what's important to you. Really think about this for a second. I mean, take some time to think about this. Because if you had freedom of time and of money, maybe even completely debt-free, how would your life change? I use an example. If you had I'm going to use an example like someone who's a relative that passed away and left you a huge amount of money in a trust that's paying you now tens of thousands of dollars a month. How would your life change differently than it is right now? Would you want to spend more time with your family? Would you like to travel? Would you now finally have financial security? Would you like to maybe utilize some of the money to have better health? This is what people are looking for. So the number one thing for me and my wife is family. Once again, my wife, she's flying to South Africa in November. I'm joining her in December. That'll be her 3rd trip to South Africa this year. Why? Because her whole family's there in South Africa, because we have the time to do that. I didn't have that before when I was working a full-time job, right? And so the thing that you got to think about is, if you like the idea of travel, if I could give you plane tickets anywhere, where would you want to go? I know a good friend of here. She's heading to Bali, right? So she's a part of a travel business. If you want to travel, we can refer you to Severina. She does a great job with the travel business. So again, when you think about better health, how many people know people that have challenges, right? I had lots of challenges. So I mean, you think about the challenge. I've reversed a lot of these different things. I don't know, my hands raised. So I've reversed a lot of these things. I didn't. This product has reversed a lot of these things. And when we pray for people, we lay hands on people, people get healed. And I'm like, where's my healing? And I felt the Holy Spirit say to me, I got something different for you. I'm like, what does that mean? And with a few weeks later, we saw this business. How do I lower my hand? Anyway, it's just kind of funny. I'm looking at all these little things. Mena takes care of all this stuff for me when I'm here by myself. You see what happens. Anyway, I guess my hands will be raised for a while. So Brandon, if you could lower my hand, because you're co-host, lower my hand for me. Thanks. So what we're going to do is talking now about the business. Now, from a business standpoint, what you do is we want to help you get registered. So we basically have an application to get registered for the product. I'm going to run through a couple of things. You can buy it at retail. We don't recommend it. We recommend getting it wholesale. So retail is basically where you can get a 30-day supply for $150. Now if I tell you about anything, but what I used to do, this is a bargain. This is the cheapest thing I've ever done, ever. It saved me money. I was spending, like I said, $300, $400, sometimes $500. Sorry, $400, $500, sometimes $600 a week. I was spending a minimum of $400 a month. Sorry, $400 a month. And so when you understand from a business standpoint, what this has done for me, it saved me money. It also worked better than all the other stuff combined. I'm telling you that right now. So what happens though is there's 3 different packages on how you can actually buy the product. And I'm going to teach you how to also make money from this and also get your product for free. How many people like the idea of getting a product for free? I always say if it's free, it's for me. But my wife says if it's free, I'll take 3, especially when there's chocolate involved, right? So what I would talk about is that there's 3 different ways you can buy a core package. This is for people that say, I just want to try the product. Well, in order to get it wholesale, you got to buy at least 3 sleeves to get it wholesale. So basically you get 3 sleeves for $295, so less than $100 per month, basically. So this is a 1 month supply. I got 30 sleeves in there. So this is basically a 90-day supply or 30-day supply for 2 people. plus a little extra. For people who say, I want to develop a business or I want some extra product or heck, I like a good deal, then this is what I recommend. The advanced, you get 6 sleeves for $535. But if you want the best deal, I recommend what we did, which is the biggest package. Some people say, well, I don't know if I could do that or not. That was $1,750. Now, if I could tell you that you can not only do this, but Brendan did the exact same thing. He got the biggest package. He said, Greg, will you help me do what you did? Because he knew that within 2.5 weeks, we made this money back. So he said, can you help me do the same thing? I said, I can't guarantee anything, but I'll work for you as hard as you're willing to work for yourself. And we went to work and talked to a lot of people, and guess what happened? Within a month, he made that money back. So can we do the same for you? I don't know. I can't guarantee anything, but if you're willing to work with us and do what we recommend, we can help you do the same thing. But how we made that money back is really the first way we make money. The very first way is, once again, what happens when you sign up someone on the core pack, you make $35. It's called a product introduction bonus. It's called a PIB. Second is just make $75 on the advance. You make $405 on the premium. So we signed up several premiums, several advanced, several cores, and we made that money back in 2.5 weeks. Because other people saw the benefit. They're like, I like the idea of actually making a lot of money. So then what we did is we got basically on 2-sleeve auto ship. So we did this one time, $1,750 plus tax and shipping, and then basically it's $200 a month. So we pay $222 a month. I get a sleeve, my wife gets a sleeve. She doesn't touch my sleeve, I don't touch her sleeve, right? So and that's all it is. If you like the idea of having a multi-million-dollar business and only expenses of $200 a month. Right now, we're doing creative things with our CPA to figure out how we can do write-offs, because we're going to be buying property, doing all kinds of stuff, because we need the write-offs. We don't mind giving money to the government. We just want to give a smaller amount instead of a big amount, if you know what I mean. So that's the first way. The second way is by building a network. And this is the most exciting part, because when you understand, J. Paul Getty was the first U.S. billionaire. Take an idea. He was a billionaire back literally 60, 70, 80 years ago, whatever it was. So he was the first U.S. billionaire, and basically how he made his money was by actually helping other people. And he said, I'd rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own. And how do you do that? So we got a business today. We got almost 8,000 people on our team in basically 41 countries around the world. And it just keeps on growing every single day, because we help people who help people who help people. That's called a network. So in a network, you get registered. Now you're actually in the business. You become part of what they call a line of sponsorship. So whoever sponsors you is going to put you on the left team or the right team. So when you get started, you're going to put 2 people on the right and 2 people on the left. And then you'll put more people in and more people in and more people in. But let's just use the example just 4. Now, if we put 2 people, right, could be a sister, could be a brother, could be on this side, you could have a coworker, and this could be a neighbor, right? Could be a old business associate, whatever. So now you got 4 people. Now you can make up to $1,500 a week as what's called a manager. Now, again, it doesn't start there. It starts at 100 and 200 and 300 and 400. It starts growing and growing and growing. But as you're growing it, you're going to find someone like here that's like Brendan that says, I want to make a lot of money. Can I become a manager? And you find someone like Severina that says, hey, I want to make a lot of money. How do I build this business, right? And all of a sudden they start bringing people in. They do their for. Now you got them people doing the same thing. So now as a manager, you're making up to 1,500. As a director with just 2 managers, now you get a manager on the right, a manager left. You can make up to 2,500. As a senior director, that's basically 2 directors, a director on the right, a director on the left. Now what happens is basically you can make up to 3,500 right there. This was the key for a lot of things for me personally. We're making about $400 to $500 a week here. We start making over $1,000 a week here. So when you're making over $1,000 a week, that's pretty substantial to a lot of people. And I want to stop here for a second. I want you to think about this. If we could help you in the next 3, 6, 12 months, or that could be longer, could be shorter. Let's say 6 months, help you make an extra $1,000 a week. Would that make a big difference to you and your family right now? An extra $50,000 to $60,000 a year? If the answer is yes, keep listening, because what happened is we hit executive. This set me free financially. I fired my job back on January 8th, 2024, because I had replaced my income with a part-time business that made more part-time than I could full-time. And then 6 weeks later, we hit the presidential rank. Lily hit the second highest rank in the company. And last year, we hit the back October last year, we hit the highest rank in the company. And we've never fallen back. We've been just propelled ever since. And now we're basically, as of Monday of next week, they're enhancing the compensation plan, because right now there's 4 ways to make money. There's going to be 9 ways starting next Monday, to give you an idea. So this is phenomenal. The next one is whatever beyond. This one's excellent. This one's fantastic. What do you want to call it? The next one's phenomenal. How's that? So again, you want to think about that. Now, again, it's capped here at $25,000 a week. Not a bad cap. $1.3 million a year. But I want you to understand, we have friends of ours in this business that have capped this out. We haven't capped it out yet. We will. Don't worry. So what's going to happen with this is that imagine making $25,000 a week from here. But my wife loved the other one, which I did too, because the next one is unlimited. This is the biggest way we make money. So the unlimited income potential is really a mentorship matching bonus. You don't have to understand all this, just understand if you want to make $1,000 a week, you can do that. If you want to make $10,000 a week, you want to make how about our friends are making over $150,000 a week? Right? So if you understand the kind of income you made, it's whatever you determine. So what happens is that when we personally sponsor someone, like we personally sponsored Brendan, and Brendan basically said, hey, I got a lot of people that I know, and he started bringing people in. Those people start bringing people in. We get 25% off what Brendan does. And as an example, so if when he makes $100 a week, we make 25. When he makes $1,000 a week, we make $250. When he makes $10,000 a week, we make $2,500. So what do you think we want to help him do? We want to help him make $25,000 a week, right? Same thing, Severino. She's our first person here. So what happens is that she's basically bringing people. So she's got her mom here, basically Alberta, that's got here. Now Alberta's bringing other people in. But what happens most importantly about this is it's 3 levels now. As of next Monday, it's going to be 6 levels in depth. They've retweaked the whole thing and made it better. They've enhanced it. So it's what they call Compensation Plan 2.0. And I want you to understand that when you look at it from a business standpoint, this is the most brilliant business model I've ever seen. And I've been a part of some tremendous businesses. This is absolutely phenomenal. So once again, I want to make sure you understand this. You don't have to understand it completely, but you pick the number. If you say I'll make an extra $1,000 a month, great. If you want to make an extra $1,000 a week, great. If you want to make $1,000 a day, great. Whatever you want to do, we can help you do that. So again, I'm going to wrap this up real quick because I got to wrap it up. But you pick the package that's best for you. And you're going to want to get back to the person who recommended this to you and say, okay, how do I maximize the profitability? That's a key word. How do I maximize the profitability of this? And they'll teach you exactly what you need to do. I'll give you a little Cliff Notes version. You got to be at least on the advanced pack or the premium pack doing 2 sleeve auto ship, and you can maximize the compensation all day long. Now, the best part about this is it's up to you. You determine what you want to do. So we have 2 different parts. We got the informational site, which is a tremendous tool. You don't have to teach it. You don't have to study stem cells. You don't have to know all this stuff. You don't have to know any of this stuff. You just have to point people to a website called thisisitinfo.com and then follow up with the person that brought you in and have that person follow up with them, and they basically answer any questions they have. And then to learn the business, we learn from This Is It team, the team itself. So once again, we have even in here, LifeWave compensation plan. You can see these videos that go over all the details. And as of next Monday, they're changing out the videos and explaining the 9 ways that we can make money. So if you've always wanted to be part of something big, timing is a key to this. We got involved 3 years ago, and I'm so glad that we did, because we're positioned to be literally doing what Steve and Gina are planning on doing, is making over $1 million a month. Now, if you might say, that's just too big, you pick the number that you want to do. You pick what you want to do as far as for you and your family. But imagine even extra income coming in. There's this gig economy you talk about, these side gigs. This is the greatest side gig you could possibly do, because the traditional businesses can be very taxing. You got to quit what you're doing. This you can do along with what you're doing, part-time on the side of what you're currently doing. And that's a key. I worked my job. I still had other business I was doing. And then I basically started putting some other things on the side and said, I'm working my job. I'm working this. I worked this until the point I fired my job, and now we got freedom. If you like that idea, that's where we can help you do that. So they got other Zoom events. This week, they don't have any Zoom events as far as for the different ones for all the different ones they have, because they don't have any team meetings going on, because we're going to be at corporate convention this week. But if you say, hey, I want to get more information, we can send you a recording, or we can get on the Zoom and share more about this. So again, we do have some other meetings that you can tie in with as well. But again, we just finish up the series. Let's do it. So let's finish up. Finished up the cruise qualification. We qualified for the trip. We got, I don't even know, dozens of people on our team that have qualified for the trip. We're so excited that we're going to be cruising with them in the Bahamas. And some people go, oh, I want to go on a cruise. Well, guess what? We've won 8. This is our 8th trip that we've won in the past 2 years. We can help you win these trips as well. So if you say, like the idea of traveling for free, it's always cool when you travel. It's a whole other thing when a company pays for everything for you. And there's all kinds of incentives on that. So really, they got other different trainings they're having. So a week from, well, really this coming Sunday, basically starting at 8:30 Pacific time. So you got to add your time to Pacific time. So it's 3-hour difference for me here. So if you're in Europe and you're in South Africa, it's basically going to be a 9-hour time difference. So basically take 9 hours, add it to 8:30. That's the time it's going to start. But it's a free training from Steve and Gina. They're taking their top leaders, the number 1 leaders and on the whole This Is It team, and going to be teaching from 8:30 to 3:30. You're going to want to tie into this. It's going to be actually game changer. And then they have an event they're having in person, actually in Warrior Studios. It is sold out now, so you can get actually scan here and get a online, or basically a virtual ticket is what you can definitely do. And our next in-person one's not going to be till August of next year. So we do this a couple times a year. The corporation puts on their event, and we're tying into the corporate event. So there's going to be thousands of people there from the This Is It team, and it's going to be amazing. There's over 10,000 people there. And our entertainer is Sir Elton John, to give you an idea. This is going to be a fun, amazing event. So we're going to see a lot of people there for the Million Stars. We're going to be partnered with people at All In. But the last thing I'll say on this is, if you're serious about your dreams, I'm so glad that you could hear from us today, because there's very few times in your life that you have an opportunity like this. And I always tell there's three types of people out there. There's a person that actually, they make it happen. They get involved. They say, you know what, I'm going to make this happen. That's what we did. And we're doing it. We're making things happen. We're changing lives around the world. Other people, they basically see it and they watch it happen. And we have a lot of friends sitting back watching us become very successful, and watching our friends become very successful. I've got total strangers that we're actually helping become financially independent, because my friends are like, I don't know, I'm not sure about this, right? And then you got other people that say, oh my goodness, this is a dream come true, exactly what I'm looking for, right? But the third person is like, what happened? Because they don't even know about it, right? There's companies out there, stocks out there, there's coins out there, so to say, all these kind of things that people are making a lot of money on, but you don't even know about it. But at least you're one or two. You're either going to make it happen, or you're going to watch it happen. I always say I'd recommend making it happen, because we can help you do that. So get started today. There's hope for your future. We're hope dealers, not dope dealers. So we want to help you succeed. So again, I'm done here. I was going to share some other things, but I got to get jumping, because I got to jump onto another meeting. We got starting in 9 minutes. We have a team meeting that we're doing. If someone wants you to get on the team meeting, they'll give you a link to that if you're already a brand partner. But again, Brendan, thank you so much for partnering with me. I don't know if you have anything else you want to share wrapping up real quick, but again, I just want to let people know that this is it. This is the time to run. This is the time to get things moving. If you're interested in building a business here, if you're looking at business all over the world, they're opening up Central and South America. So they're opening up all these countries as well. And we're planning on being at 100 countries in the next couple of years. It's very, very exciting. So we're growing by leaps and bounds. So Brendan, do you want to wrap up with anything else? Otherwise, I'm gonna shut it down for now.
I'll just say, don't delay, start today, because this is it.
This is it. Amen. Bless you guys. Have an awesome day. Let us know who we can talk to. If you want to grow, let us know. Talk to you soon. Love you. Talk to you. Bye-bye.